Hello, welcome back to London Centuries. Thank you for coming back. Long time since I've posted a ride here, so I thought I'd better get back out on the bike, try and get fit. I was trying to think where to go, and I decided to do a Shakespeare ride. Starting from here, at the site of the Globe Theatre. That's the Globe there, because the modern Globe Theatre is a replica of the theatre he'd have worked in here on the south bank of the Thames. But it's actually not on the identical same site as the original. The original was a couple of 100 feet away, and I'm just going to try and find it first to make this ride properly historical. It's down here somewhere. One of these side streets off the river. So the original Globe would have been here on what's now Park Street. Don't know if you saw that, but the name of the street's Bear Gardens, because back in Shakespeare's day it was bear baiting around here, where they used to attack animals with dogs and stuff, as well as theatres. It was a very dodgy part of town. Lots of prostitution as well. So I thought I'd ride from here to the place he was born, up in Stratford, mostly following the route of the River Thames. So it's changed a bit since the original Globe was built in 1599, I think. Yeah, that's right. And it's going over the river now. So I'm going to head out, trying to follow a journey that Shakespeare would have done many times himself, from this part of London back to his hometown, out through Oxford and up to Stratford. Hopefully I have a poke around, try and find a pub where he'd have stopped for a pint on the way home. If only Shakespeare had had a bicycle, he could have really enjoyed the journey. Of course he didn't, because they hadn't been invented then. So he had to go by horse-drawn coach, which I don't think I've ever been in one actually, but I imagine they're pretty uncomfortable and fairly slow. So I'm going to try and have a nicer time than he did. So it was west out of central London and out through the towns and villages, slowly leaving London behind. And crossing the Thames again, this time at Cookham. Out of town now. I just realised I didn't say anything about why I haven't posted a video for so long. There's no great drama to it. I think I thought I'd take a few weeks off towards the end of the season, and then I think I got a bug or something. Nothing terribly awful, you know, not COVID or anything, but enough to keep me off the bike for a couple of weeks. Morning. So anyway, one thing led to another, and I did a bit of turbo over the winter, but no long rides at all. Lost a lot of fitness. So that's why I thought it's about time I got back into it and tried to do a long one. I did a 200 on my own last weekend. It's very slow. Crawled home at the end, really painful, but I made it. And this one, this Shakespeare's commute that I'm doing now, it should work out at 230, 240 kilometres, something like that, I think. And crossing the Thames yet again. This bridge is at Marlow. It's looking quite nice today. I wonder if he came this way. Actually, I doubt it, because his commute must have taken him Well, it did. Took him from London to Oxford and then to Stratford from there. And the speed of a coach and horses, don't know exactly, but it can't have been that much different to that of a bicycle today. So you're looking at an all-day journey, I'm sure. Must have been, at the very least, if not a bit more. So I like to think of him sitting on the coach, trying to think up plot twists and characters and stuff. We know he was inspired by some bits of the English landscape. Because bits show up in his plays. And the one example I'm going to try to find today is the Forest of Arden. Shows up in As You Like It. The real Forest of Arden is slightly north of Stratford, so I'm gonna head up there because I've never been there before. That's why I want to go there. In fact, I'm somewhat doubtful that there's a forest there at all. I have absolutely no idea, so that's why I want to go and find out. So I'm going to curve up north of Stratford and then loop back down again. The exact route is not identical, but Shakespeare's commute would have looked a lot like this, with slightly different houses. So all those hills, that was the Chilterns, the Chiltern Hills. And because of me not being very fit and all, I was finding that pretty heavy going. And I'm hoping I'm out of that by now. I'm hoping I'm gonna be approaching Oxford fairly soon, because I've been going a few hours now. Oh, here we go, coming into Oxford now. Somewhere around here is the pub where apparently Shakespeare used to stop and refresh himself on the way home, on the way back to Stratford-upon-Avon. See if I can find it. Oh, here we go, the Crown. Now next to a McDonald's. Yeah, here we go, the sign outside saying Shakespeare paid his frequent visits to Oxford. The poet used to stop in the university towns here on his journeys between Stratford and London, and the Crown was his headquarters. I had thought about popping in for a pint, but it's before 12 o'clock and I don't know, I don't really fancy it actually. It doesn't quite have the atmosphere that I was hoping for. Maybe it's alright inside, I don't know, but we'll see. So I cruised through Oxford, didn't stop, went out the north side of the city, and now I suppose this is the Cotswolds. So all in all, he didn't have a bad commute, did he? So this is Warwickshire, Shakespeare's home county. Oh dear, I wish I hadn't taken the winter off. I'm really suffering. It's not good. Well, this is the bit of the ride I mentioned earlier. I'd be trying to find the Forest of Arden, and there's lots of patches of woodland, but that you can see over there, but nothing that I'd quite say was resembling a forest. Maybe I've missed it, or maybe it got cleared for farmland, I don't know. Probably the latter, I'm guessing. But either way, Will would have known this part of the world very well. Well, check out the name of that pub if you can. Because his mum was from this village, Mary. Her birth name was Arden. We're only a few miles outside Stratford now. Okay, coming into Stratford now. The place he called home. He lived in London for work, obviously, but came back here, made a ton of money, I believe, and bought a nice big house here when he was pretty young, like 33, something like that, early 30s. Did very nicely for himself. Look, just coming down to the river. Oh, and there we go, there's the church. Pull in here. That, hang on, I'll move out the way of the tree. It's Holy Trinity Church, where he's buried. Born here in 1564, died here in 1616. This is almost the end of my bike ride. Celebrate our greatest poet, try and motivate me to start to get a little bit fit after a very foolishly ill-judged winter layoff. There he is. You recognise him? There you go, Shakespeare's birthplace. Memorial stone just there, and all the tourist stuff in the visitor centre and what have you. Well, thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed it, whether you're a fan of the Great Bard or not. It's a good bike ride. I'll be back with more soon. Thanks very much for watching, see you next time.